So I'm given about 45 minutes for today's sharing session. Some of you have heard me before. Some of you, I'm doing the presentation first time. Nice to meet you all. And you can see on my slide, of course, the topic is on high-speed rail, RTS, and future hotspots. A lot of you, your interest may be in Iskandar, Malaysia, but I'm taking the liberty to not just focusing on Iskandar, Malaysia, but I want to go all the way up north, Penang, touch a bit on KL as well, and also Iskandar, Malaysia. So we go one whole stretch, yeah? Some of you are still very busy with the food. Actually, I told myself, I was so tempted to help myself to some of the makan there, but I don't want to be burping on stage, so I give myself a pass, but Abe already finished already. Anyway, who can tell where is this, the first slide? Where is it? Let me test the Singaporeans, my fellow friends. Two Nazar exchange. Oh, you guys are well versed. Normally when I show this picture, the Kiasu one will answer. And they will normally get it right, which is good. Sometimes what I like when I show this picture, the younger crowd, if they are in KL, they are familiar, they say, oh, this picture, what interests us? Oh, here, this is track where Zouk is. But it's okay, you guys don't know what Zouk is, right? No, okay. Zouk, never mind, that's where people go and party. Okay, never mind. So today's presentation, this is the sequence I want to touch. I know normally public presentation, I would not overload you guys with too much data, too much numbers. So I keep my presentation more on aerial photos, some of news cuttings, some perspective, and then we can have Q&A as well. Okay? Then I even brought some maps and books all the way from KL for you guys. The faster one, they already helped themselves to some of the free maps that I bought. Right? Some of you are not familiar, so no worries. So I will start with a very quick introduction. Of course, we had Christopher Boyd. He already touched on post-GE 14. I just want to recap a little bit. And then we go all the way up north. We start with north. Penang. What are some of the latest announcements or what to expect from the state? And then we come all the way down south. Johor Bahru, some of the latest announcement or the previous announcement, what are the progress? And then we go to KL, and by then I can conclude my presentation. Okay, I'm quite surprised that PropertyGuru allocate 45 minutes for me. Normally, any presentation in Singapore, right, is only 30 minutes. Because they catch things faster. In KL, I need 45 minutes. Singapore, half an hour, they get it already. Half an hour, okay, cool. So let me start with this slide. Before I talk about the slide, can I do a quick survey with you guys? Can I? Just a quick survey. I want to understand the ground from the Singaporeans. I'm going to ask a question. If it applies, you agree, then you raise your hand. If you don't raise your hand, it's fine. Sometimes we will always have audience like that. I don't want to participate, no worries. Post-GE 14, Malaysia had a change of government. Those happy, can you raise your hand, please? Okay, all right. That's about 1/3. Post-GE 14, Malaysia had a change of government. Those not happy, please raise your hand. Don't worry, nobody gonna come after you. Not happy, okay. Post-GE 14, those that don't care. Oh, some don't care, okay. Very honest, I like, okay. So about 1/3 happy, 1/6 not happy, or another 1/6 don't care. And there's another 1/3 just will never raise their hand. No worries. Okay. So I start my presentation with this slide. I want to give a bit of perspective. Do you guys take the opportunity to read Robert Kwok's book? Any of you? Got? It's a fantastic book, right? Malaysia's richest man, he shared his life principal back in his younger days and whatnot. But there's a lot of things being shared in the book. I just want to take out one thing. So as you know, Robert Koch, he has 2 other brothers, yeah, and he's the youngest, right? So unlike his other brother, Robert Koch, he's very passionate in making money. That's his passion. Talk about business, make money. But his second brother is very different from him. Very different. Not about business, he's more passionate about politics. Very passionate about politics and whatnot. So one day the brother said something to him which he remembered and shared in the book with us. He said his second brother called him one day and said, I know, Robert, you are not interested in politics. But business and politics, they are intertwined. You cannot separate. So if you want to talk about business, you must understand the political situation. So that's why it's quite funny. I'm talking about property today, but I have to touch about politics. Cannot run away. Okay, so some of my slides, you will see they are news cutting. What are the latest things happening? Of course, the top picture. This one is something more personal to myself. I thought I want to share with the audience. If you guys are interested to hear lah, so you can know your speaker a bit better. Interested to hear? I share a bit. So my father, he's a Chinese. Okay, my father is a Chinese. So as a young boy, I always hear this from my dad. He will say, call me Lele. One day, if you are not happy with the country, another way of saying not happy with the government, you can just pack your bags and leave the country. You can migrate to better places. So I get that advice as a young kid. Then my mom, she's a Malay. My mom is a Malay. So the advice I get from her is very different. She say, no matter what happened to your country need good, hardworking people and bring the country to the next level. So whatever you do, stay in the country. Wow, so very conflicting advice as a young kid. So I grew up very conflicted in life. So anyway, why I put this slide is that prior to GE14, if you talk to some of the younger generation, those have opportunity, they would have maybe migrated. They migrate. They are working overseas, so they migrate. So myself, I'm in a very peculiar situation. Then something happened. We had a change of government. So I just want to share a little bit. Myself, I'm born in 1988. Okay? Then 30 years after, my son was born. I'm a very proud father. Today, very, very happy. That's his name. Remember the name, Solomon Ho. What I find interesting was that the day I was born and the day my son was born, this is our Prime Minister. Same guy. Same guy. My son, the day he was born, already following my footsteps. Okay? I hope he do better than me. So, Mahathir, whether you love him or you hate him, he's been doing a lot of things, impacting everyone, not just Malaysian, even our foreign friends. So, just a bit of perspective. What happened? When we had a change of government, so you have the Peninsular Malaysia. These are the changes. Of course, now Perak is also under Pakatan. So these states, Selangor, KL, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor, all these states, all the way Penang, Kedah, these states are now what we call friendly to the federal government. Previously, which are the states, for example, are opposition state? Are you all aware? Which state? Which state? Which state? Yeah, Penang, for example. Penang opposition state, Selangor opposition state. So when you are not friendly to the federal government in that sense, because not different party, things to move very hard, right? So now they are changed in status. So you have to be very sharp in following the media. The announcement has been made. Do you guys do that? Well, yes, sure. You follow the media closely. I salute you. Most people know, don't follow. So what do? Just relax. Then you see PropertyGuru doing expo, Ho Chin Soon Research giving talk, you come. Then we update you everything. Okay, somehow, that's a shortcut, okay? So who's this gentleman here? Our new finance minister. Some people criticize him for not being tactful enough. Christopher also mentioned, he's still the opposition DNA is very much entrenched in him. So the way he talk sounds like opposition. So anyway, there's a lot of things and announcement be made. We've been following the announcement. And we also have a new housing minister. Okay, new lady, housing minister. Coincidentally, she's from the Ampang constituency where I vote. So every time I see her, I check, hey, make sure you do work. Voter got power one. Contrary to the Singaporeans' belief, voters got power. Okay? So there are a few things has been announced by the ministry on affordable housing, on loan. But today we don't want to touch on all that. We don't want to go into in-depth. Just know that now you have new faces. They are taking things different approach. Okay? And I like this slide. So if you are aware, not too long ago, Jack Ma came over again because he came over last year. Okay, visited Malaysia. And I love this headline. This was headline, 19 June. Jack Ma said, faith in Malaysia goes on. So this is a non-Malaysian saying Malaysia is good. So I thought I just want to share the news. And if you are sharp, you can see further comment from Jack Ma himself. He said, Dr. Mahathir is a legend. 93 years old, but he knows so much about technology. After talking to him, I should read more books. Any one of you can talk to Jack Ma, after that he feels he should read more books. Amazing, huh? Yeah. So whether you love him or you hate Mahathir, should salute him. What I find interesting was last year when Jack Ma visited, he didn't compliment the premier then. Okay, never mind. Maybe only a Malaysian can relate. Normally I talk about hotspot, I talk about development location. Last time I say, follow the money. You don't have any idea now, what does follow the money mean? What does it mean? Follow the money. Of course, it's a bit hard in Malaysia because money tend to go missing. Okay, that one is very unique to Malaysia. But when I say follow the money, means you see where are the government allocating infrastructure funds, where are the big corporations going, where are the big players, the developers going to develop. So that is like following the money. Now today I have to change the tagline already. Okay, so we changed to follow the politician. I realized because they are the one deciding where the money go, right? So we follow the news, see what are the places and things that they mention. This is just a map to show where are the strong GDP, but I don't want to elaborate too much. But you can see, if in terms of GDP per capita, the one that is strong, of course, Wilayah Persekutuan, Penang, Selangor, Melaka, so not too bad. Johor as a whole is weak because it's big, but Iskandar, Malaysia is very strong, about 50,000+ ringgit GDP per capita. And of course, if you compare Singapore, this is in ringgit, it's very strong lah. That's why all the Johorian always cross over, come and cari makan, very strong. So I always tell my fellow Malaysian, we must look at Singaporeans and be amused because they GDP-wise at least 5 times more than the average Malaysian. Amazing. At the expense of happiness. No. Okay, now let's go up north to Penang. up to Penang. Ivy, we have a very tough crowd. I think maybe it's just in Singapore. Let's play a game, okay? Who can guess? This is an aerial photo of Penang at a certain date, which is taken much earlier. If you can guess the year, later after my presentation, you go to the back over there, I'll pass you a book. The book I brought all the way from KL. I only have like 13 copies left. I don't think everyone can have a copy. So anyone got a guess now? What year is this picture taken? 2018, the same similar picture, you can see there's a lot of high-rise already. What about this picture? What year? Who can guess? 95. Normally after I say you have something to give up, then everyone start answering. 30 years ago. 1988. Oh, guessing my year purposely. Oh, very smart. 2008. Only 10 years back. Okay, no more guesses. Let's take a look. Okay, the picture was taken in 1992. How long ago? About 26 years back. About 26 years back. And you can see the skyline has changed. On top of that, in Penang, if you are not familiar, there's a lot of land reclamation happening at the moment. I will explain why. So for example, of course, you have developer E&O, they themselves are reclaiming a lot of land for development. And then this is Gurney Drive, the state initiative, they are reclaiming land. This is like for public usage, like a park. And then, this is another beautiful picture. And then there's talks of possible third bridge. That is where the supposed under tunnel linking to the mainland. So perhaps now is a possible third bridge. Just another perspective. So there's a lot of land reclamation happening as well. Okay, we play quiz. Who know what is the name of the new Penang Chief Minister? What? Not Char Kway Teow. Okay, that's a good guess. Malaysian, is it? Okay. So we have a new Chief Minister. Penang now have a new Chief Minister. Penang used to be opposition state. You want to do anything also very hard. So now they are friendly with the current government. You start to see announcement or requests from the new Chief Minister. So that's hinting something. Penang Chief Minister hopes LRT project implemented within 5 years. What LRT project are we talking about? So there is a plan for LRT in Penang. So I'll show you the alignment. It's actually, by the way, public information for many years already. It's just that it never took off. Now, in Malaysia Parliament, our ministers, they've been doing a lot of budget cutting. Cutting left, right, center. Country no money, right? So they are cutting a lot of budget here and there. But Penang Chief Minister very bold, asking for 1 billion to implement Penang Transport Master Plan. So among the things inside the Penang Transport Master Plan, one of these is like, for example, the LRT, there's monorail, there's trams, there's bus route. There's a couple of things inside. So in Parliament, he said he want 1 billion. Can get not? Government cutting budget, can get not 1 billion? August, go ahead lightly. Now you are friendly with the federal government, everything can. Last time last time if you are opposition, you in parliament, you request for 1 billion, I think the government then will just look at you and laugh lah. Huh? Nothing will happen, okay? So just take note that the transport master plan is in Penang, will take off, matter of time. And if you read the news, even mention about 3 man-made island reclamation will start early next year. What is it? What is that? Okay, so a few interesting things happening. I'll show you using a map. So the red color, so this is Penang Island. This is a Penang Island, then this is mainland, Penang Bridge, second bridge. So there is plans for LRT to go all the way. And then go into reclaim land as well. So this plan actually, reclaiming land, has always been there. And that's how Penang State Government, they were planning how to generate money. Because federal won't be giving you any funds. So what you do is you sell development rights. You reclaim land, then let developer develop. That's how you get your funds. You can do your infra. So that's why people salute Lim Guan Eng. Even without federal funds in that sense, you can make the state successful. So just know that there are LRT plans and a lot of things will be coming to Penang. Okay, this is just a simplified map to show there's LRT. The LRT just now, part of the plan is also to even cut across, go into mainland. Then you have monorail, you have bus rapid transit. So these are some of the plans, the tram, the possible third bridge. So these are the things coming to Penang. And of course you have a developer who's displaying their project in Penang. Have you all been walking around? Okay, so Masing, they are very active in Penang. This is not the only project that they are promoting. They have other projects in Penang as well. So do ask them if you are interested in Penang. What are some other news? So like Penang Central opening. So this is the transport hub. And then the airport will improve. You see how things start to change when you have a change of government. So now the state, a lot of action happening. Positive sentiment. Now let's come all the way down to Johor, Iskandar, Malaysia. So as I mentioned, Johor is actually a very big state. Iskandar, Malaysia is the area, economic activity area that's very active. Okay, Iskandar leads growth in Johor. And IRDA, the authority, even mentioned up to 2025, expect to need 700,000 houses in Iskandar, Malaysia. Especially this one is also for the local consumption. They need a lot of housing. Okay. Now, just outside of Iskandar, Malaysia, to the east, there's the East Coast, Desaru. Have you all been there before? What is over there? The beach. What else? What is over there? Not sure. Normally, even Malaysians also don't know what is over there. Do you know there's that 2 beautiful golf courses in operation over there? So if you're a golfer, you can take your time, go to Desaru Coast. There's a lot of things happening. You can see there are, for example, these are the golf courses, they're already in operation. Then in the future, you will have Hard Rock hotels, more hotels, Westin Desaru, and you even have water theme parks opening in East Coast. So the government then, when they were planning this corridor, why do you think they were putting in a lot of this tourism-centric component? It's meant for you guys. So when every day you go to work, you see your boss, you feel stressed out, and you thought you need like a break, then you can go Desaru, not too far. For the Singaporean, go there, relax. Yeah, spend in ringgit, 1/3, so small, then come back, okay? So there's a lot of tourism activity being planned and currently are already up in the East Coast, Desaru. Some recent projects. that are progressing very fast. Recently got some comments, right? We keep it until Q&A. I know you all have your questions. Okay, you can see international school come up very fast. They even have their own golf course nearby. You can see the land reclamation coming up very fast for a city. Yeah? The infra that's coming for Iskandar, Malaysia is the BRT. This is one of the key infra to service transportation to improve. Of course, Iskandar, Malaysia, if you're talking about LRT or MRT, the population is not there yet for them to embark on this infra. So immediately, they are looking at BRT, Bus Rapid Transit. Okay, BRT, expect about in 2021, cover 90% of Iskandar, Malaysia, the route 51 km, 39 station. So if you are the type of investor you want to know where all this route go, you look on the map, you see where are the stations. And these are the station areas. So there's a route. This is Singapore, JB Town. This is a BRT route. And one of the stop, of course, the developer is here. You have Horizon Hill. Okay, so you can ask them further. We're only left with 15 minutes. Okay. And then if you've been following, you know that the RTS plan, expect 2024. So this is just a map, Johor, and this is Tuas second link. This is the BRT line. Supposed to have the high-speed rail station here. So now you're expecting about 2031. But for Johor, we are more excited of the RTS. RTS to be more beneficial for Iskandar, Malaysia. Expect 2024. Just an aerial photo of Johor town, JB, and then you can see Singapore at the back. In the future, those in this vicinity can take the MRT, get connected into the Singapore MRT line. So for investors, they are excited for this, seamless. Because whenever you talk about what is the potential of Iskandar, Malaysia, I always say traveling time is the key. What is the average traveling time of a Singaporean from their house to their workplace? About an hour? 45 minutes? Any other answer? How long you guys take? From your house, including if you go MRT or you take the bus or you have to walk a bit, from your house to your workplace, roughly how many minutes? Do you all know? According to Department of Statistics for Singapore, the average, the highest average is 53 minutes. And that guy had to take bus, take MRT, then he has to walk. But most Singaporeans will travel less than 53 minutes. But anyway, 53 minutes is like the key figure. So if you can stay anywhere in Iskandar, Malaysia, and then travel to the economic activity area, which is where the CBD is, about this time, then it makes sense. Then the potential is very strong. You talk about traveling time. I just want to refresh you guys using some area photo. Where is this? Putri Harbour, okay. Where is this? Who can guess this one? I salute. Huh? Oh, Sunway. Yeah, Sunway Iskandar. Okay, so this, you can see the development. Sunway Iskandar is over here. Then this E&O. Then I think they even have Daiwa Sunway. The project site is here, coming up. Later we can zoom in. Then there's like Jaya Grocer. This is the office block, also already completed. Another perspective, now looking towards at the back, this is Singapore. This is second link, Tuas. And project site, for example, Sakura Residence is coming up here. You can zoom in. This side. And this is Sunway International School, the office block. Another perspective, UEM, they also have their projects coming up very nicely. You can see this is Putri Harbour, Kota Iskandar, the estuary coming up. At the back, there is Medini area. So that's some update on Iskandar, Malaysia. What about KL? Our latest book. Any of you have the latest book or not? Apparently, I was only able to carry a total of 15 copies of this book today here. I gave 1 copy to our VIP guest just now. So I'm left with 14 copy. I put all the 14 copy at the back, and then I went to the restroom. I came back, 1 copy missing. So someone is having my book. So anyway, I have 13 copies of this book brought all the way from KL, our latest publication. We are talking about some parts of transformation in Klang Valley, Greater KL. So if you are interested in KL area, this book will be a very good read for you. Mount Kiara, back in 1994. How many projects are there? 1994. Few? More like 1, 2. Only 2 projects. How is it like today? Change a lot, change very fast. So who are the developers that are very active in Mount Kiara? You guys walk around? Ada? There's 2 developers here that have projects in Mount Kiara. Make sure you go around and take a look. Another perspective, you can see Mount Kiara. So that is like the condominium enclave for Greater KL. It's been coming up a lot over the years, very strongly. Tun Razak Exchange. Let's talk a little bit about it. So you have the signature tower coming up, very nice. And then the surrounding. So a lot of investors ask, oh my God, what's going to happen to Tun Razak Exchange now that we have a change of government? Right? By the way, this is the CEO, Dato' Azma of Tun Razak Exchange. One fine day early this year, he took myself and our chairman for just a short visit to go up to the tower. Took a shot from the tower. I think this was level 76. And then you can see KLCC at the back, the city, with all the clouds covering. It looks like I'm up in Genting Highland like that. But no, it's just that right after raining, so it looks like much, much higher. So the view is beautiful up there. The progress is good. But investors ask, what will happen to the whole of Tun Razak Exchange? Okay? So in June 21st, the Minister of Finance, he had a special press conference just to address to investors and to member of public what will happen to Tun Razak Exchange. And he mentioned that the government will be pumping in more money to ensure all the infra is complete. So just because there's a change of government doesn't mean the previous government's project all will be abandoned. No, the government will finish it. So this is good news lah. Then as you can see at our far right, that is the CEO himself. Normally, every time during the press conference, the reporter asked Lim Guan Eng question, he couldn't answer. He looked at the CEO. And the CEO, all the answers at his fingertip. Answer. So this is the kind of CEO, very capable, very good. Some CEO, they go on garden leave and they don't know much. But they are paid 10 million a year. Malaysian would know this. Anyway, that is a separate story. Okay, government to proceed. And this, don't worry. So government to proceed with extra 2.8 billion, And these are the lots, the parcels that are all now at stake. They are involved. Let's talk a bit about transportation infra for Greater KL. So the biggest project, high-speed rail. Do you guys actively follow the announcement of high-speed rail? Yes, of great interest. How long you guys been following it? Who can tell me what was the original date that they are supposed to complete the high-speed rail? I will give one book. Was it 2020? 2026? Huh? 2026. Everyone is very confident with 2026. That, by the way, 2024. Just mention all the numbers, right? You're gonna hit one of it. We had many revision of timeline actually. And then I still remember 4 years back, about 4 years back, PropertyGuru invited us come just to share news. So we share. The government then, they set a very optimistic year. They say we will complete it by 2020. That was the original announcement. And then from 2020 they revised to, okay, maybe 2020 a bit too close, go 2022. So myself, I had to come back all the way from KL, come to Singapore, tell the Singaporeans, 2020 now changed to 2022. Sorry a bit, maybe it's on Malaysia side delay. After that, then they revised again to 2026. Then I came and I actually said, if they revise again, I'll be too ashamed to come back. But I thought it was very, very important. I have to come and update again. So I said yes before the revision again. So I had to honor my presence with PropertyGuru. Now very paiseh. So the latest is 2031. Expected. My chairman only said, please complete it while he's still alive. He wants to sit the high-speed rail. So this is just some of the slides. I think I don't want to elaborate too much. Okay, it's not scrapped, it's just postponed. And of course, Singapore say, hey, we already spent a lot of money, don't simply cancel, make sure you reimburse us. Once compensation. So this was in July. So this is a very recent news. Malaysia at this juncture is supposed to compensate Sing dollar about 15 million. This is to pay off some of the consultants that was already engaged and because of the project being deferred. So they will revisit the high-speed rail project tentative May 31st, 2020. If by May 31st, 2020, the project still no go, then it's deemed cancelled and Malaysia have to compensate. So this is the date. Because of the postponement a bit, okay, 5 more minutes. So expect about January 1st, 2031. So these are some of the latest announcements. In KL, what has happened is also there's a MRT 3 line has been cancelled. But from our perspective, looking at the whole plan of the MRT, the time will come where the government will revisit the MRT 3 and then implement. Otherwise, MRT 1 and MRT 2 will be very much hanging. That is our opinion. Okay, East Coast Rail Link, no go, too costly. There's a LRT 3, the cost was reduced and it proceeds. So not all projects are cancelled. Some are just cost being reduced. So let's wrap up today's presentation where I think covered. If you talk about Greater KL, the extension, because we are talking about deferment, so some of the key station cities, you won't be connected anytime soon. Okay, this was the original alignment to benefit all the population. I guess the matter is all about cost. If they get the cost right, the high-speed rail is a project you want to be in place because it will make 2 of the cities even more competitive, it will grow, and then all the cities in between, they will prosper as well. case study, you just look at China. They are building high-speed rail stations and a lot of tracks because it brings up all the smaller towns. So in one of our publications, we talk about location, timing, and branding as the #1 real estate mantra. We talk about a lot of location today. Timing and branding is important. So timing, let's take a look at some of the recent news cutting. NAPIC, this government arm that process transaction data, says market may stabilize this year, so which is good news. Then MIEA, which is the Institute of Estate Agents Association, the Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents, say property investors to make comeback, things will gradually improve all the way 2020. So these are good news. You all realize a lot of my slides got like WhatsApp broadcast, right? Notice not? And then there's like numbers being displayed. If you are interested to receive WhatsApp broadcast, what you do is you key in this number and then you say, please put me in. This is actually the personal number of our chairman. So Ho Chin Soon himself, that's his mobile number. You drop him a WhatsApp now, you say, put me in. In future, you will get WhatsApp broadcast, free of charge. And if you want to do me a favor for coming all the way from KL to update you guys, when you say put me in, and then you write, your CEO has been working very hard today. Oh, then I love you guys. Then maybe I sell the book cheaper later. Okay? So this book, Location, Timing and Branding, we already out of stock. The latest publication, Kuala Lumpur Hotspot, Past, Present and Future. I bought a few copies. Those interested, if you want to support me, I'm prepared to sell the book at 30 Sing dollars. I love the Sing dollars. Anyone interested or not? Or 30 too high? You guys want to lower it? Anyone interested? I only got 12, 13 books. Later go to the back. You can purchase the book from me. Okay? Alternatively, you will have to go all the way to KL or Malaysia to find for the book. And why am I like working so hard just to sell a few copies of book? Have to prepare for his education fund. Not easy, not cheap. I look at education very expensive. So the father have to come here and sell books. Okay, please support me. For those of you that are more interested in technical maps, I actually bought 3 copies. These are normally purchased by the developers, but every time I come to Singapore, I bring a copy or 2. If you are interested, you can buy it at maybe you make me an offer. Normally in KL, we sell it for 4,000 ringgit. Today, if you want to offer me 200 Sing or 150, I'm fine. Depending on how much I collect, then I'll see whether I can have my chili crab tonight. Okay? With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishmael.